Bombay!
Hi, this is Ron from POCculture.com. Auli'i, how are you?
I'm well. How are you? That background is dope.
Thank you. Love the show. But I have to tell you, I'm a little nervous today because this is the first interview I've ever done where both my wife and daughter are like, oh my gosh, you're talking to Moana. You better not mess up.
There's pressure. I get it. I get it.
My daughter has been singing your songs her whole life, entire life. She loves you. But you must hear stuff like that all the time. So how do you balance this being a Disney princess with, staying grounded?
Oh, that's so sweet. I love hearing that. I love this character and I love Moana as well as Hailey and truly every character that I play, like as much as everyone else. And maybe that's what comes across as well is that like I'm so grateful. I love this job. Like it brings me so much joy to bring these characters to life, and specifically with animation to get into the booth, like to close my eyes and say these lines and just tell a story that's it I think comes from my heritage, and it just brings me so much joy. So it makes me really happy to hear that your little baby girl enjoys it as much as I do.
I love that. And I think your joy really comes through. Have you had an interaction with a fan or kid that was ever particularly memorable to you that really moved you?
Oh my gosh. Actually, just this morning, my lovely makeup artist, Crystal Tran, she FaceTimed her son and she was like, oh, you sing the song, sing the song. Her son's like 2, right? So my expectations are low, understandably so. And she starts singing, goes, I've been, and he goes, staring, like pretty good, he can like fill in the gaps, which like you were saying, I didn't think I fully anticipated just how much of an earworm my songs would become for parents. Like they've watched the film significantly more times than I have, you know what I mean? And it's just been so fun to hear these little fans and these little voyagers sing these songs.
I love that. I've definitely, I can attest to that. I've heard your songs many, many times. Now, one of the things I really admire about your career so far is that you seem to regularly challenge yourself. You've done live action, animation, of course, Little Mermaid live, and I know you're doing Evita in concert this summer. Like, how do you go about choosing your projects? What factors are important to you?
Ooh, first of all, like I'm really grateful and in a beautiful position where I get to choose my projects. Like Moana really was obviously my first job and like put me in a trajectory that allowed me to kind of have a safety bubble where I get to look at my career and be like, all right, I want to do this and let's find something in line with that. And it's true that I do want to challenge myself constantly. I cut all my hair off. I got bangs because I also enjoy I enjoy being a chameleon, and I'm most excited really to do stage work because there's something about like the star power or like the presence on stage that really excites me. And I also grew up in Hawaii where we don't have a lot of live theater, and I grew up with without a television, and all of this is really exciting to me. So I just want to dip my toe in and play as many different characters as I possibly can. I also think it makes me, and telling different stories makes all of us like better humans because we get to relate to different storylines and just think of things that we wouldn't otherwise,
Definitely. And that's a perfect segue for the show because, Hailey's on it is about challenging yourself, stepping out of your comfort zone. How much do you personally relate with your character, Hailey?
I relate to Hailey quite a bit. First of all, she's really intelligent. She is so goofy. She's so funny. She has a lot of heart. She loves her friends and her family. And yes, she does start off our series as like a risk-averse little fearful teen. And then when she realizes that she has the power to save the world, it's like, all right, like, let's go. We've got to jump on the train and save the world. And I love that energy. She kicks some serious butt. She sings songs at the same time. Like it just has so many elements that makes me smile.
Yeah, this is a weird show in a good way. Like you have this teen coming of age, but also this like sci-fi save the world. How much fun was it to kind of blend those elements together?
It is so fun. I'm glad that you brought that up because like our team, our writers are so clever in the same way that you have watched my film like with your kids. Like I expect this show will also have somewhat of an adult audience. And I think like through our characters, our voices, we have a fantastic also like guest cast that comes in, like all of it, like the jokes really land, but there's also the slapstick humor that Scott always falls off of his skateboard. And, you know, like it's just a really heartwarming series that honestly reminds me of like some of our like classic Disney shows, like the animation styles are really lovely. Like I can't stop gushing about it because it really does make me happy. I think people are going to really enjoy it.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a really unique take on animation. You talked about the cast. It's a beautifully diverse cast. I know with animation, you don't always get to interact with your castmates that often. Have you all had a chance to connect and talk about the show and get to know each other at all?
Not yet, but I actually did work with Manny Jacinto, who plays, or Jacinto, who plays
Scott.
Scott, and we actually did our first session together, like way back when we were first even still figuring out who our characters were, and it was so nice because we had, if you can imagine, like I'm in one room and then we're sharing a glass and we're just watching each other kind of exchange lines and acting like that's what it looks like. We're just speaking into a mic and completely forget where we are for a second. But I love what everyone brings to their characters. And you're completely right in that our cast is incredibly diverse. I play Hailey Banks. Manny Jacinto plays Scott. Cooper Andrews plays my dad. Julie Bowen plays my mom. Like it's just a stellar cast. And I think you can really tell.
100%. And even behind the camera, I noticed, you have several women who are writers and directors on the show. Like, how cool is it to have your character, written and directed by other women creatives?
Thank you for bringing that up. I think it really makes all the difference. I'm constantly laughing whenever I'm in the booth, and it's great to hear their input. Eden Regal usually directs me in the booth as well, and I trust her completely in knowing my character and also pushing me. What I love about working in this series is that I also get to play different characters. So I get to try on different voices, which is something that I don't get to do often in animated films. So I'm very appreciative of the team. Yeah, and I can't wait for more of Hailey. Like I can't wait to see what she does next.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing about this show. It could be anything. Like there are no bounds.
She could go to space, like I love it.
Why not? Why not? I have to ask you a little bit about the Little Mermaid. Of course, you played Ariel in the Little Mermaid live, which again, my family loved. Halle Bailey is playing Ariel in the live action version. Have you all gotten to talk at all? And what do you think about her as Ariel?
Oh, we've met at, it's funny because we, as like young actresses, we often see each other at events. So I've seen her off and on at different things for years, and I'm so happy for her. I love seeing the billboards up in Hollywood. I have been watching every single like teaser or trailer that has dropped. She sounds absolutely magnificent. And I think she's putting a really beautiful, fresh, new take on this character, not only in the vocals, which are absolutely slaying, but also in this new era. Like I can't wait to see this film. We haven't discussed it yet, but I will definitely be supporting her by buying a ticket and watching it myself.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I just feel like you two are going to be forever connected, and I'd love to see you all work together. How much fun would it be to work together?
Oh, it'd be absolutely lovely. I so respect her voice and her talent, and also the bond between her and her sister. I watch interviews of her, and I love their support that they have of each other. So yeah, I think she's fantastic.
Yeah, you both are great. You talked about a new era, and we talked about diversity. I'm a lot older than you. When I grew up, there was nothing like Hailey's on it. There was nothing like Moana. How have you carried that burden of like wanting to push diverse projects and being that like symbol? How have you experienced that?
Well, when I started with Moana, and I felt so grateful, so lucky to be in that room and to give voice and life to this character. And now that I've been in this industry a little bit longer, I realized, oh, so many people had to push and fight for that project. And now that I also am working in like a producerial space, now I get to, you know, put a little pressure on people and be like, all right, let's make these projects. Like, let's put our money where our mouth is. Let's not just talk about change, let's do it, because it shapes, we want to see representation in front of the camera as well as behind it, because the stories become that much richer. And I think Moana and Hailey's on it and all of these incredible shows like really prove that that's what people are craving as well. We're craving something that we can sink our teeth into, that we see ourselves in. So in that sense, I think that we've made significant progress, but there's so much more to do, and we've got so much further to go.
Definitely. Hailey's on is great because yes, it has this diverse cast, but I feel like any kid is going to be able to relate. What do you hope that all audiences watching this show will take away from it? What's the message?
I hope people really take away just how important it is to challenge yourself, and no matter how far-fetched or how difficult it may seem to complete your dreams or to finish that bucket list, no matter how old or young you are, that you can do it. Like, it'll give you so much joy to just start chipping away at that long list of things that you would love to do. I think Hailey is a wonderful role model because she's going through it as we watch the series. She's learning how to deal with big emotions. She's learning how to play the glockenspiel in another one. She's singing a hip hop song in yet another episode. Like, there's so much heart to the character. And I think audiences old and young will find something to really enjoy.
Definitely. My last question for you. I know recently you announced that you won't be reprising your role in Moana. You are executive producing, which we all love to see. What's the response been like from the community after that announcement?
I will be honest, I deleted Instagram as soon as I posted it because
Good for you.
I needed to stay offline. Moana means so much to me, as not only the actor who plays her, but also as someone who I went to an all-Hawaiian school. Like, I grew up in Hawaii. I know how important it is to see yourself on screen and what that did, even for my younger cousins who go to Hawaiian immersion school, you know, like she's their superhero. And I look forward to seeing her on the live action screen. I think that I mean it when I want to put my money where my mouth is of seeing representative casting. And I think it's going to be beautiful.
Can't wait. Auli'i, you are a superhero in our household. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. It's a pleasure.
I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.